Hi there, students. A flutter. A flutter. Okay, this is another of these postpositive adjectives, or it could also be an adverb. Let's see, first of all, let's look at the verb to flutter. For example, a flag flutters in the wind, or a bird flutters its wings. So is to move, but to move in a rather random way. You can also then use flutter to talk about an excited state. So first of all, to flutter, to flap, to wave quickly but irregularly. Flags fluttering in the wind, moving about. So the flags were a flutter in the wind. There you go, a flutter as an adverb. The birds were fluttering their wings. The birds' wings aflutter were getting ready to fly. Okay, and that's a flutter used as a postpositive adjective. Okay, so a flutter, moving backwards and moving up and down irregularly. A flutter, and then more metaphorically, in a nervous or excited state. So my heart was aflutter when she kissed me. My heart aflutter, I kissed her back. Now, notice again, this is one of these postpositive adjectives. It means you can't say an aflutter heart. No. You've got to put the postpositive adjective after the noun. So, my heart aflutter. Yeah, okay, a flutter goes after. My heart aflutter, I kissed her back. So here a flutter, in a nervous state. I was set aflutter by the smile that she gave me. The market will continue aflutter for several weeks as a result of this news. So nervous, excited, agitated. Moving, uneasy, nervy. Okay, so a flutter, being in a flutter. I was all a flutter at the news. The line of flags outside the United Nations was a flutter. The flags aflutter made the building look very impressive. I was aflutter at the thought of proposing to her that night. My heart was all aflutter at the thought of her return. The legal world is a flutter after the latest decisions. Okay, so a flutter it's moving, excited. Twitter was aflutter with reactions to the actress's dress. Twitter aflutter with news about what was going to happen. Okay, so a flutter. It's talking about excited or nervous. I'm all aflutter about meeting him after so long. Okay, Twitter was aflutter over the Prime Minister's rant on Thursday. Okay, so a flutter. It's talking about movement or excitement, feeling strange, and it is postpositive. My mind is aflutter with ideas about where I should begin. Shall I there? Where shall I? So my mind was aflutter about this. This is the idea. Excited in anticipation. I was aflutter to see what would happen. The bird was fluttering its wings. The bird's wings were aflutter. The bird's wings aflutter were just the first sign that the birds were going to take off. The flags aflutter in the air. Okay, so this is the idea. If you can get the idea of how to use these post-positive adjectives, they'll look quite good in your writings, and it's something I would remember. Okay, so the market was a flutter after things had changed so much over a short period of time. Okay, so a flutter, fluttering, moving in a state of movement, in a state of excitement, in a state of anticipation, in a state of confusion. Yeah, so once more, your mind's probably all aflutter with the idea of all of the different things different ways you might use this word. Okay, so let's see, origin, a flutter. Well, it comes obviously from a flutter, from flutona in Proto-Germanic, to float. And very often this a at the beginning to make a post-positive adjective. Formality, a flutter. I'm going to give it, I think, a 6 in formality. So, a flutter.